This episode, we're broadcasting from the Geffen Playhouse in Los Angeles, California. Our guest, Dulé Hill, known for his roles in The West Wing, Ballers, Suits, and the Broadway smash, Bring in the Noise, Bring in the Funk. Welcome to Theater Corner, brother.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad to be here.
So very nice for you to be here. This is a long time coming.
That's right, you see?
So you're here performing as Nat King Cole, and Lights Out, Nat King Cole. What does it mean to you to play this particular role?
Oh, man. I mean, the idea of stepping into Mr. Cole's iconic suit is unfathomable in my mind. I'm still pinching myself. It's a daunting task, but it's also a humbling task to be able to bring his story to the stage that is not only reflective on his life, but also very perceptive of where we are today.
And so I was here opening night, and his twin daughters were here.
Right.
Tell me about your interaction with them after they saw this performance.
For myself, their blessing was all that I needed. I mean, yes, Nat King Cole is an icon. Yes, he is a trailblazer. Yes, he is a groundbreaker. But he also is a father, and he also is a brother. And when you start telling someone's personal story, or a story connected to someone personally, you want to make sure you get it right. And for myself, I would not want to be telling a story that was not blessed by his lineage, his offspring, his children. So the fact that they came to see the show opening night, and afterwards they came up to me and said, yes, this is the show that needs to be told. This is the story that needs to be out there. We give y'all a complete blessing. This night was unforgettable in every way. And it really moved me that they gave that anointing on this project. When we did the project at the People's Light a year and a half ago, Freddie Cole came, who was Nat King Cole's brother. And he did the same thing. The fact that when he gave his blessing too. Now that I have those three components, now I feel like the wind is at our back, so it's time for us to run forward.
Talk a little bit about getting ready for a role like this, because you truly like embodied the character of Nat King Cole. What are the special things that you did? I mean, other than watching footage.
I tried not to be too heady about approach. It really is what happens organically. What things am I able to embrace within my being to then be able to continuously embody when I hit the stage. Yes, I mean, there's not a lot of stuff out there on Mr. Cole's point of view of his own life because he died so young. So for me, it really was listening to a lot of his music, listening to a lot of his interviews. I had just submerged myself in all things Nat King Cole. If I was on the plane, I was listening to him. If I was going to sleep, I was listening to him. If I was driving in my car, I was listening to him. If I was tap dancing, I was listening to him. Any chance that I had to put something on related to him, I was doing that. So that alone, I would just try to take in what resonated inside of myself. I didn't really try to pinpoint exactly how does he say this word or how does he say that word. It was more the essence of his energy that I tried to embrace with my own to then put on myself to then have the Nat King Cole on this stage. Because I didn't want it to be imitation. I didn't want to do a caricature of him. And it's always evolving. I'm still constantly trying to pull back the layers to merge more of my soul with Mr. Cole's to bring the performance each night. Now, from a technical standpoint, I did get together with Liz Himmelstein, who's a speech coach that I've worked with for years on different projects. And early on in the process, I got together with her just to kind of fine-tune some things, and we kind of just to approach it from a technical standpoint a little bit. And then I got together with my man Wilkie Ferguson, who's a wonderful performer and artist in his own right, but also a vocal coach, to work on the songs and spend time with the songs, because I didn't feel that this was a role that I could just pick up the week before. And then step into it and say, oh, I'm ready. It takes a lot of homework beforehand, just leading up to even the rehearsals, so that by the time you come to rehearsals, you're ready to rehearse. And then through rehearsals, that's a whole other process. But for me, it was a matter of consistency, spending time, being intimate with his spirit, really, with his energy, and really asking for that revelation to touch things that I cannot see. I cannot hear, if that makes any sense. It really, for me, it really has been like a spiritual process of, Father above, give me give me that insight that I don't have. Give me that. Just speak to me about that thing that I'm missing.
Right.
There's certain things like let me have that essence. Mr. Cole, speak to me through it. Let me know what I'm supposed to be bringing to the stage right now, so that your story can be told in the right way.
And it definitely shows. I mean, it's a phenomenal performance.
Thank you very much.
Seriously, it really is.
Thank you very much.
And talking to Coleman, I mean, he talks about this would be a completely different show. I mean, the casting with you and Daniel, it would be something totally different because you're bringing this tap ability.
Right.
You know, and I got to say, that was a phenomenal tap performance right in the middle of the show. I mean, you had a standing ovation in the middle of the show after that routine. I mean, how does that hit you?
It blows you away, really. It really. Here's the thing: in the middle of the show, it doesn't really hit me, if I'm being honest. In the middle of the show, because in the middle of the show, I'm so connected to Sammy, or Daniel Watts, and what we're doing, and then on to the next moment. Because there's something that, like with this show, once the show starts, it goes.
Yeah.
There isn't really a lot of time for, at least for myself, to just take back and take it all in. I take it all in once I take my final bow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, in the show, like in the performance itself, I didn't really have a time to really take that in, but afterwards, it's like, wow, people really received and dug the whole journey that we've portrayed here tonight.
I had an idea that there was some tap, but I didn't realize it was something like that. I mean, my natural reaction was get on my feet. Really.
Dig it.
And so it's amazing.
I mean, for myself, I have to say, this is a story about Nat King Cole, and it's a story about icons like Nat King Cole, and it's a story about people in the world today. But as an artist and as a performer, there is me tipping my hat to Mr. Cole, but there's also me tipping my hat, because of this piece, to Gregory Hines, to Harold Nicholas. Because for myself as Dulé Hill, the artist, they are my direct link heroes. The reason why I am an actor is because I was a tap dancer, and I saw that Gregory Hines could do it.
Right.
I saw that Harold Nicholas could do it. And not only were they tap dancers and actors, they were also singers. So to be in this show and to be able to use a wider breadth of the gifts that God has blessed me with all in one piece, it really is, for myself, paying homage to and really bowing myself in prayer to, my brothers who have gone on, my elders who have gone on, my fathers who have gone on, Gregory Hines and Harold Nicholas.
So you started tapping at the age of
At the
three.
age of 3.
Perhaps. Yeah. So your mother ran a dance.
She was a ballet teacher at a dance school in East Orange, New Jersey, named Marie Wildy School of Dance.
Wow. Do you have any early vivid memories of developing this talent?
I do. I mean, I remember being at dance school, and when I got a scholarship when I was young, but I forgot the gentleman's name, but he gave me a scholarship to go to the school. I guess he came to the school and wanted to give a scholarship, and we all danced, and he chose me. And I know we had to do a performance that year, like me and the gentleman. And I wish I would know who he was, or even if, I don't know if he's still alive now, but even, because he was an older gentleman, but even family who was connected to him, just so that they could connect all the dots of, wow, my grandfather or my uncle did this, and that 4-year-old or 5-year-old was this guy. And that's really that opportunity is what allowed me to get exposed to the arts, and has sent me on a journey of a lifetime. I remember being afraid to perform, even at the dance school, and my mom and the dance school owner, I call her my Aunt Marie, she's passed away now, Marie Wildy, they had to bribe me with a blow pop. Because I was in the back room hiding under a table, and I still vividly remember that, being underneath there, not wanting to perform. And they said, okay, well, if you go out there and you do it, then you get a blow pop.
Oh, geez.
I said, all right. And I was like, tap, 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 tap. You know what I mean? Yep.
Oh, man. And so one of your earliest breakout was...
the Tap Dance Kid.
The Tap Dance Kid.
That's what got me into this whole business.
Okay.
The Tap Dance Kid came to my school, the dance school, looking for kids who could sing and dance. I auditioned, and then the next thing I know, I was understudying Savion Glover on Broadway. And then right after that, I did the lead role on the national tour with Harold Nicholas from the Nicholas Brothers.
Right.
And that's what started to open my eyes of this greater thing of show business, because I remember being on tour, and one time while we were on tour, the whole cast got together and we just watched all of Harold's old movies. All of his dancing movies with he and his brother. And to be there next to Harold at 10 years old, and he's telling me, different things about it, and watching it on film and realizing like, oh wow, this is like this. Well, he's a kid in that one,
Okay.
and he's a kid like me, and
Right.
he's on film, and here he is now. It started to really make connection to me. And I also, when I was in LA at the Pantages for the Tap Dance Kid, I was invited to the opening night of White Nights, and I still remember being at the White Nights, the after party, because I couldn't make it to the premiere because I was doing the show here. But I still remember seeing Sheila E. give a hug to Gregory Hines. You know, I remember that, and I'd known Gregory by that point because Gregory Hines and Hitting Battle were good friends.
Right.
And Hitting Battle was in the show also. He's Hitting Battle. And then at the Men's Golf Rehearsal Studios in New York, Gregory came by to see Hitting one day. And when he was leaving, I remember he had his cool earring in his left ear.
Right.
And when he was leaving, my dad said, that's a world-renowned tap dancer. And I remember peeking in the hall right before he was getting on the elevator. And that's the first time I ever connected who Gregory Hines was. I mean, from that moment, years later, we became friends and all that, but I still remember looking and saying, oh, wow, that guy's a tap dancer. And then seeing White Nights and seeing all that. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, it's beautiful. There's another thing I noticed is watching you on stage is your stage presence, and you're extremely comfortable, but you've done like tons of television, and so what is it about theater? Is there because it's like you're at home up there on that stage.
It's funny that you just said that because I was going to say stage is my home, being that I started on stage. Even if it's just going to dance school and performing at the recital, my first professional job was being on stage at the Minskoff Theater in New York, and then the national tour. And most of the things that I did when I was younger was theater, at the Goodspeed Opera House, at the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey. My first affinity is for the stage. It brings me back to a base. It brings me back to a foundation. It always challenges me to dig deeper. I feel like when you do the stage, it really sharpens you. For myself anyway, just having to be here every day and do it every day and find a way to make it work and having to do it without any filter.
No safety net.
Yeah, there's something about, I feel like I'm in training when I'm on the stage. I love the connection to the audience. I love the energy inside of the house when things are going well and when things are not going well. I love when they're affected. I love when you're dancing and your legs are tired, but you got to figure out a way to make it work.
Right.
It's like, come on, legs. We got to do something. For me, the stage is home. And I think being that I started doing that as a kid, it's always going to be my first love and probably always going to be the place that I love being at the most.
Speak a little bit about working with Patricia McGregor, the phenomenal Patricia McGregor.
Yeah, I'm in awe of her talent, of her poise, of her direction, her command of a room. And knowing how to, with the skill of a surgeon, knowing how to weave together moments and story. I've really been impressed with her over the years. I've been a fan of Patricia McGregor, and I wanted to work with her. So when this opportunity came up, I was thrilled to jump into the room with her. But after even being on this journey with her, I'm that much more of a fan of her brilliance. She really is a phenomenal talent. Then I think she's only scraping the surface right now of all that she's about to do in this town and others. She has a unique skill to draw out performance, to tell story, to command the room, to handle all these things coming at her and still do it with love.
Right.
Which is which you don't see you don't see a lot of directors like that. Directors can get caught up in their own thing and then they lash out and they do that. I've not ever seen Patricia do that in times when I can tell this would drive me crazy.
Right.
But she's able to just work and maneuver through it and still pull out the best from everybody. She's always elevating anyone who enters into her space. And that's a beautiful gift to have. No matter who you are, if you come into the presence of Patricia McGregor, you're going to rise to her. If that makes any sense.
Right.
Yeah, and I admire that.
Speaking of gifts, you have a special gift coming into the world.
I do. Yes,
very
I do.
Soon.
I'm very, very thankful. We have a baby boy coming on the way. I am thrilled. It's an absolute I'm blown away by the awesomeness of what God can do in your life. It was a dream that I put away a long time ago. And when you come in communion with the right people, my wife, Jasmine Simon, dreams that you have buried can be risen again. And that's exactly what she has done. So I'm through the moon about it.
Very nice, very nice. Everybody needs a sanctuary. Needs that anchor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Jasmine and Kennedy are my sanctuary and my anchors.
Beautiful.
That's right.
Beautiful indeed. So, brother, I want to thank you for coming by. It's just spending a little time with
Oh, it's
Brother
my
in the Theater
pleasure.
Corner.
My pleasure.
And good luck. The best to you on the finishing of this run. I know you guys got extended even another week.
That's right. Yeah.
But that says a lot, you know, especially here at the Geffen on a musical. So thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. And thank you, viewers, for tuning into another episode of Theater Corner. And we'll see you next time.